Welcome to The Explainer. I am so incredibly thrilled you're here today because we're going to talk about something completely empowering. If you've been putting in the really hard work, dialing in your nutrition, prioritizing your sleep, getting moving, and you're just staring at a bathroom scale that simply will not budge, well, I have some absolutely fantastic news for you. The lifestyle changes you're making, they are actually working. Your body is already healing right now. And today, we're going to look at the real-time, hidden signs that prove your metabolism is moving in the exact right direction.
It's a deeply frustrating place to be, isn't it? You're doing everything right. You're cutting out the junk, you're getting to bed early, sweating it out in the gym, and yet, you look in the mirror or step on the scale and just wonder, is any of this actually making a difference inside my body? Honestly, you might even be tempted to just throw the scale right out the window. It is so easy to feel defeated when the visible results don't immediately match the incredible effort you're putting in.
Okay, let's dive into this because here is exactly where the disconnect happens. Most of us rely on standard lab tests to tell us how healthy we are, right? But things like your A1C or your fasting glucose, they take months to reflect your hard work. They're basically lagging indicators. But your human body, it's literally a highly responsive machine. Your body actually starts showing signs of biological improvement within just 24 to 48 hours of you making those healthy changes. You really just need to know what signs to look for.
Real quick, before we get to those signs, we've got to identify the core villain we're defeating here: insulin resistance. Basically, this is a state where your cells just stop listening to insulin. Because the cells are resistant, your body is forced to pump out more and more insulin just to keep your blood sugar in check. This chronically elevated insulin, it's the common denominator driving massive health issues today, like high blood pressure, fatty liver, and eventually type 2 diabetes. But here's the amazing part. The reversal process begins almost immediately.
Phase 1. The immediate response. Days 1 to 3.
So, when insulin is high, it literally commands your kidneys to hold on to sodium. And well, where sodium goes, water follows. That's exactly why you get that puffy face, the swollen ankles, and that bloated abdomen. But the very first sign that your insulin sensitivity is improving is that your insulin levels finally start to drop. When they do, your kidneys get the signal to let go. They flush out that trapped sodium and all that extra water right along with it. So if you wake up feeling a little less bloated, or maybe your rings fit just a little looser after a couple of days, no, that isn't in your head. That's actual physiological proof that your metabolism is healing.
Now, if you've been beating yourself up over those, say, 3 p.m. sugar cravings, it is time to let that guilt go right now. A lot of that excessive hunger and food noise was never a lack of discipline. Actually, it was just a fuel delivery problem. When you're insulin resistant, your cells just aren't absorbing glucose efficiently. Your brain senses this and panics, interpreting it as a total fuel shortage. So it sounds the alarm, demanding rapid energy, meaning sugar and refined carbs. But as your cells regain their sensitivity in these first few days, they start taking in fuel effectively again. That relentless food noise and hunger quiets down because the brain's false alarm finally gets switched off. Seriously, it was never about your willpower.
Phase 2. Short-term boosts. Days to weeks.
We've all been there, right? That heavy, sleepy food coma after a carb-heavy meal. The kind that makes you want to crawl under your desk at work and take a nap. When you're insulin resistant, your body is subjected to violent blood sugar spikes and crashes. Your mitochondria, the tiny little power plants in your cells that create usable energy, or ATP, they really struggle under these unstable conditions. But as your blood sugar stabilizes, your mitochondria start producing energy way more efficiently. The research is clear. Just 7 days of moderate cycling can improve this mitochondrial function. Losing that drained, sleepy feeling after you eat is just a massive, tangible win.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is this staggering little statistic. Your brain makes up only about 2% of your total body weight. 2%! Yet, it demands a whopping 20% of your body's total energy supply. Because of this massive demand, your brain is incredibly sensitive to any disruptions in fuel delivery. It literally feels an energy crisis instantly. And that massive energy demand leads us right into the brain fog triple whammy. Insulin resistance hits your brain with low fuel delivery because the brain cells actually have their own insulin receptors that stop working well. It also causes bad circulation and chronic low-grade inflammation. But within just days to a couple of weeks of your lifestyle changes, this triple whammy completely reverses. Your brain starts running on a steady supply of energy again. If you're suddenly thinking a little sharper and that heavy brain fog is lifting, well, that is your brain thanking you for restoring its fuel lines.
Phase 3. The compound effect. Weeks 2 to 4.
I really want you to absorb this number right here, 25%. A study took healthy people and restricted their sleep to just 4 hours a night for 5 nights. Nothing else changed. Same diet, same activity levels. But after just 5 nights, their insulin sensitivity plummeted by 25%. It is shocking. Poor sleep aggressively pushes insulin resistance in the exact wrong direction. But here's how you completely flip the script. The relationship between sleep and insulin, it actually goes both ways. As your blood sugar becomes more stable, you stop getting those jarring middle-of-the-night cortisol spikes, and because you aren't waking up, you spend way more time in deeper, restorative sleep. And the magic really happens in step 4. That deeper sleep further improves your insulin sensitivity. So the vicious cycle that was working against you suddenly breaks, and it becomes this wonderful positive loop working entirely in your favor. And this brilliantly illustrates exactly why how your clothes fit is so much more important than the number on the scale. See, insulin dictates where we store fat, pushing it centrally right around our organs. This is that dangerous visceral fat. But when insulin drops, visceral fat is actually the very first to go. From just a modest 5% total body weight loss, diet alone reduces visceral fat by 13%. But if you add exercise, boom, you nearly double that progress to a 21% reduction. If you're ever wondering if that daily walk or workout is really worth your time, this proves it absolutely is. Your waistline is shrinking because you are shedding the most dangerous fat in your entire body. You're also going to start seeing some serious internal structural healing, specifically with your blood pressure. Insulin resistance causes chronic inflammation that damages the super thin inner lining of your blood vessels, basically making them stiff. But as your sensitivity improves, this endothelial lining actually heals. Your arteries regain their flexibility, allowing them to relax and widen out. If you're checking your blood pressure at home and it's trending down, even by just a few points, that is physical, undeniable proof that your blood vessels are actively recovering.
Phase 4, medium-term visible proof, weeks to months.
You know, your skin is like a window into your hormonal health, and the changes you see here are just profound. Chronically high insulin drives up androgen hormones, which basically crank up oil production and cause breakouts. It also drives cell overgrowth, resulting in skin tags and those dark, velvety patches on the neck or underarms known as acanthosis nigricans. As your insulin drops, the main driver behind all these skin issues loses its power. Your acne clears up as hormones normalize, the dark patches gradually lighten, and you just stop getting new skin tags. Clearer skin is a beautiful, highly visible receipt that your underlying metabolism is healing.
So let's pull all of this together into a sort of master cheat sheet for the healing journey you're on right now. Within days, your kidneys let go of water and your brain stops begging for sugar. Within weeks, your mitochondria fire up, your brain fog clears out, and your sleep deepens. And over the coming months, your clothes fit looser, your blood pressure drops, and your skin literally begins to glow. This is the real timeline of true sustainable health.
I want to leave you with this one question. The standard lab results are important, sure, but they're going to take time to catch up. Will you let a delayed piece of paper dictate your motivation? Or will you start listening to the real-time, hidden signals your incredible body is sending you right now? Trust the process, trust the signs we explored today, and keep going. Your body's already thanking you.